So, yesterday you told us about your new strategies. Please tell it again to me.
So on the business event side, really what we're looking at doing is, since COVID, we've tweaked a few of our strategies to continue to elevate Canada's awareness in our international markets. Some of the ways is that we recognized on the international side, the legacy that international associations are having. We had a hard time calculating what that impact was in Canada. So one of our projects and strategies was really to, we've chosen and we've worked with our Canadian partners to choose about a dozen congresses happened before COVID and some that have happened since then that we're following for a 3-year journey to find out what types of legacies it actually left back into our country. Yeah. Now with that, when we're talking about economic impact that those congresses have had, there's also our sustainability strategy, which those kind of come into play together at the same time. Recognizing that sustainability, and when I talk about sustainability or regenerative tourism, when we look at that to say, well, what does Canada mean? What's the perception of Canada? And you know, when you look at Canada, there's a lot of those images that are green. It's open spaces, it's open hearts, it's our open people and open vision. So how do we now kind of tie this together with what types of impact that business events create in a community? But it's also that sustainability is very important to just generally to the world and to people. So how do we continue to mirror those together? So some of the activities that we're doing on that end has really been, we did research on where we were from a sustainability side of things on Canada. Looked, and we're a little bit behind, so what we're trying to do is really ramp it up. So we've built a strategy where we've got 16 major Canadian cities across Canada that we educated them in certification, in the GDS certification, their cities, as well as their partners within their cities. We've now getting into that benchmarking. So there's now a storytelling class that we have for them to educate them, but it's also the benchmark to see where they are. And when we talk about sustainability, we're talking about everything from socio-cultural, environmental, and economic. That's where that legacy is, that economic piece, but it's all those other pieces as well that kind of tie with it. And so one of those major events that we're doing is that we created years ago with our sector strategy. As we go after, proactively, we align our economic sector strategy with what Invest in Canada and Global Affairs does. So from a country's perspective, we're very much aligned. We're not going out after conferences that aren't aligned with how to grow our community and our economy overall. So those 6 sectors we have chosen every year to put on our own event. And our event is called Innovate Canada. So 4 years ago, prior to COVID, we had 2, and now we've done another 2, and we just came off that 4th one 2 weeks ago. But it's choosing a sector. So a couple weeks ago was advanced manufacturing. Prior to that, we did AI. Year prior to that, we've done ocean tech, and we've also done technology. Yeah. And I think part of it is that we work with Global Affairs and the trade commissioners around the world, and it's a very niche group of who we're going after. And we look for those decision makers in the C-suite that own companies or big corporations, and they come and attend that event. And instead of showing them facilities from a tourism perspective, we show them the ecosystem of that sector, everything from the tours, the academia. They meet with governments that are there to support that sector strength. And in that way that they don't even realize that they're enjoying the destination that they're in, the beauty of the outdoors, the venues that we have. But it's really, what has attracted them the most has been we call it the beauty and the brains of Canada. Yeah. So it's really mending those two together with the innovators, those leaders that have created concepts. And you know, when we talk about Canada, you're looking at people will think, oh, it's a cold climate. But with 4 distinct seasons, you also have people that have that ability to kind of break out and they find things and they're very focused. And I think that's part of, they're focused and they enjoy the outdoors at the same time. So it's having that ability to, what is that creation? How do these ideas come about? And we've been able to attract a lot of talent to Canada. Yeah. In these fields, not just because we're good in the field, in those economic sectors, but also that open-mindedness of Canada and that open space. So I think that's really the kind of combination. So that event itself we continue to do. And we had it just recently on advanced manufacturing, and we've gotten, our partners got leads from all of these companies. And what we do is we invite only the partners that have that ecosystem. So only 7 Canadian cities were allowed to come to our event to meet B2Bs, where we enabled them to have B2Bs with them. But we not only invited the tourism leader, but we also invited their sector. So whether it's in that city, it's their economic development person, their invest, or their trade person in that sector to come. And that has been also very educational for our partners. So now that collaboration that we have sometimes introduced in the same city, tourism person meet the trade person in that same sector, so that now in each of our cities, we've enabled that collaboration to happen. So that's also that sustainability side of how we continue to grow our economy in a smart way, in a green way, in an open way, but in a welcoming way at the same time. And I would say that, just to kind of conclude, we continue to learn. We're always edging to learn. Last night, we won the Sustainability Award at the IMEX Gala. So some of these things are now helping, and people have asked us, well, what are you doing? Can you share your plan? And I've always been one to say, all tides rise all boats. And at the end of the day, I say, absolutely, I'll email you our plan. It comes in the execution, but the legacy, the sustainability, all these things, hopefully we can all as a country help other countries to raise the bar at the same time. So I think that's ultimately would make me happy, where we can all help one another. I don't know whether that's at the end of the day, it's collaboration, it's the Canada way, but it's also a way that we hope, don't look at them as competitors, I look at them as other external partners as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.